So yeah, and we have here external attendees as you are, and our external guest Cem, and also a colleague of mine, Henrike, who is yeah, supporting the whole Coffee and Learn webinar series. It will be me. So before we start with the impulse, I would like to give you just a short overview about this this format we just implemented in the beginning of the year. It's our third Coffee and Learn webinar today, and it's supposed to be, yes, give some space to discuss important topics of the digital or not digital coaching and learning and development industry. So yeah, feel free to ask questions also in between the impulse, and we have some time planned for questions after the Cem's impulse. Yeah, it was on purpose that we open this not only for prospects and sharpest customers, but also for any other interested person, because we see that yeah, learning is so important for all of us. So yeah, feel really welcome to be here now with us. And yeah, for today, the topic is why a one-size-fits-all approach to upskilling won't benefit your digital transformation. So it's a quite practical impulse from the change expert Cem. And yes, it would be great if you could just briefly introduce yourself, Cem. And so nice to have you here today. Thank you.
Thank you, and also a warm welcome from my side. I'm Cem. I'm an internal change consultant at 50 Hertz, which is a German electricity transmission operator, and I am also a freelance change consultant. And maybe a more few words so just that you know who I am. I have a PhD in economics, but after that I wanted to do something more practical, and I started my career as a strategy consultant before I did my own learning and development into the area of change and organizational development. I then worked a couple of years for the Westdeutscher Rundfunk, which is the biggest German public broadcasting company. And then I moved for private reasons from Cologne to Berlin and had a stint at Deutsche Bahn as a change expert before now working at 50 Hertz.
Yes, thanks for this overview. When we first met, I think I mentioned the same question, and I would like to raise it here again. So because you're really deep into the topic of change and transformational accompanying organizations. So what exactly brought you to the topic of change? Why is it the love, your passion you give into this topic?
As I've said, I started as a strategy consultant, and I really enjoyed the work. It was very fascinating and challenging. And at the same time, as you might know, strategy consultants sometimes are really helpful because they come in with knowledge you don't have and with experience from other organizations. And yet, I guess we all know examples of nice concepts from strategy consultants that do not really work once you try to implement them. And the reason for that is that for many topics, you have your experts in-house, or at least people have opinions about changes and transformations, and they want to be heard and involved. And that's why I changed my job to thinking about how to make that possible in a good way.
So it's not only about the structures, it's also about the human beings.
Exactly.
Yeah, to carry to drive the change. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, before we start into our interview, I'd like to introduce myself briefly. My name is Simone, and I'm at Sharpest as Director Customer Advisory, which means mainly that I support prospects and our existing customers when it comes to deeper questions regarding coaching and learning and development, as I had been a consultant several years in a German HR consultancy before I joined Sharpist, and I'm a certified business coach myself. And yeah, I'm really passionate about lifelong learning, and so I'm glad to be here now with Sharpist, and also to learn together with you more about this topic and this really challenging but also exciting times, to give it some hope what we are all facing at the moment. Yes. So and yeah, the first thing we want to do now, to get more information about what attracted you to this webinar. So I will share a link for Mentimeter, so you can just fill it out and say, why do you have registered for this webinar today? So hold on a sec. I just want to share. So I will share the link to the Mentimeter in the chat. And will also share the results in a sec. So, what is the reason you are here today with us? Okay. Feel free to add anything else if you want to. So I start reading what the answers are. So it's about exchange opinions about this topic, curiosity, and I want to know more about initiatives really drive change. Again, curiosity, to hear some new news on the topics. I'm responsible for learning and development and business change on digital tools, platforms, and processes. I work a lot with companies who want to optimize their creative process, lifelong learning for myself, a very important topic. I'm early in my HR career and studying for my CIPD. What is this actually? Can you help me? Who's the author? What is CIPD? Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
So quiet. It's my UK HR colleague. Thank you, because I have never heard about it. Thank you for sharing. And so trying to learn as much as possible from different sources, and to get new insights, new perspective for my clients, and to make me grow again and again. So I see that, as I we're guessing in the beginning, it's quite a diverse group you are in. So you want to learn yourself. You're interested because you're a consultant or coach or change manager yourself, and or you are in HR business. So it's really interesting. Also, maybe after we have heard Cem, to if you could share some of your experiences. We have brought another question. for Mentimeter again. And this is, hold on. So, okay, now I can't find this, and I will share something else. The QR code maybe. Can you still see my my desktop?
No. Now you're
can't.
sharing.
But yes, now you can, can't you? Yes, I think so. So I couldn't find the link. So here's the QR code, or go to menti.com and enter the code 389694 and twice the 2. And I will go to Mentimeter and share the results.
It's still the first question.
Okay, that's weird. Check me. Yeah, sorry. I myself only can see the first one, so maybe you can double check, Henrike, and also open Mentimeter, but I think I just.
Or how about we just share the answers in the chat just quickly, so we don't lose time?
I don't know why, but it doesn't seem to. Yeah, maybe this is easier because I don't know why we can't see the. I can see it, but I can't see your answers.
Yeah. So what was the question again, Simone?
What do you see as the challenges for learning and development and digital transformation? Yeah, this would be great. Just share it in the chat. Makes things easier.
Now I'm curious what you will see as challenges.
Simone, one question again.
Yes.
Do you mean the challenge for the question is, what's the challenge in the for the digital transformation in a whole, or which specific part? So for the or for learning in digital transformation.
It's actually for the role of learning and development, the function.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, not all of you are HR business partners, but if you are responsible for learning and development, and at least one person of you is, as we have seen in the answers before, and I mean, you work with HR business partners. What do you see as main challenges for the function of HR or learning and development in specific to support digital transformation from an HR perspective? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Mm-hmm.
We are so curious, so just let us know a little bit more. So, yeah. So what I can read is to get the most efficient method Platform integration or program and platform adoption and engagement. Or from you, Frederick, again, not only efficient, but also different methods to ensure actual learning takes place via digital tools, getting the engagement of people for learning from Julia. And as a coach, I don't have any challenges at this time. Many different target groups with different levels and needs within one company. Tailoring it to different people, skills gaps. Yeah. Yeah. +1 to Andreas answer, different digital skills for people. Yeah. So I think it's good time to also start with your input, Cem, and feel free, all of the others, if you want to add something or disagree with Cem, just jump in and let us know. We ask you, what do you see as the challenges for learning and development and digital transformation? And this is the same question I would like to ask you, Cem. What do you see as the challenges for learning and development and digital transformations?
Maybe I should start with two disclaimers here. First of all, I am not an L&D expert, but a change expert. So I will look with a change perspective on it. And looking with a change perspective on it, because many of you had the expectations to learn new stuff here. Very often I experience that very obvious things go wrong in change. So I'm not so sure if I will tell you anything really new, but often it's the obvious things, that go wrong in change. And I think also in learning and development for digital transformations. So let me start with the very basics. So why do we need L&D in digital transformations? As in any change, it's to prepare people for new roles, processes, or ways of working. Digital transformations that can be digital technology or data literacy or agility. And for me, the biggest challenge is to actually tie the L&D to actual changes in people's jobs. Now, this is very obvious. I mean, we all know if you want people to learn something, they have to have the possibility to apply it. Because if I learn something, but then I can't use it directly, I will quickly forget it. From a change perspective, it's also very important to give people the feeling that, okay, there will be something new, but you will get ready for it and be able to master it. But what I, especially in digital transformations, experience is that the real application and L&D is often far away. Like you get a training, but then there is no immediate application for you. And so the challenge is to find this application. And the problem in digital transformation comparison to other transformations is that the change is often more radical and at the same time more unclear. Often we don't know what digital means in changing our job, and that's what organizations try to find out. And that's where L&D has to play an active role, in my opinion.
Yeah, thanks for this framework around the question. And in the beginning, you mentioned that the obvious things go mostly wrong. So what should be the obvious? So what not to expect to go wrong, but then does? What is it you observe here?
Yeah, my observation is sometimes organizations have pressure and then they say, okay, we need a digital transformation. And then they start some initiative and then it's, we also have to make our people fit for the digital transformation. So L&D, here is your task, make the people fit. but for what use case, for what actual change in their job, and that's unclear. And sometimes I have the feeling it's like L&D train people how to swim, and then we hope they'll find a lake where they can swim. But that's very hard. I mean, in all organizations, you have luckily a few super motivated people who are interested in digital transformation, and they will find innovations or new stuff, and will drive some change. And then these are the successes that are shown around in the organization. But most people, they are stuck in their daily business. They like most of us have their table full of tasks. And why should I change anything now just because I get an L&D offer on digital? And I think this is exactly the problem or the point that I'm trying to make, that L&D has to integrate or the transformation has to offer a possibility for people to find out what digital actually means in their jobs and what changes, and then L&D has to support that.
Yeah. So I understand you wish for more connection between the daily work and daily leadership style of everybody involved and what is conducted by learning and development. It's because I really like your metaphor with the lake, so and the swimming. So it's a swimming course, but there is no lake because maybe they don't have a lake, they have a river, and they need to know how to swim in a river. And not in a calm, easy lake, just to do something more with your metaphor. Is it this what you mean, where L&D is not sufficiently aligned, or maybe you can specify your
what I experience is like many organizations, they try to find out what does digitalization mean for us. So what are new digital products or processes or ways of working we need to master the digital? And then they come up with some initiatives or digital transformation offices, and then they are supposed to drive the change. And then you have a few lighthouse projects in the organization. And the rest of the organization is supposed to somehow, find the lake by themselves. And L&D has like this general assignment to prepare people for it. And then L&D is struggling to find the real use case or to come up with some content that makes sense for people. And often there the link is missing.
It also sounds that I kind of want to confront L&D, how you describe it, that L&D is not only not really aligned with the people in the organization, but also with the real business goals, because it sounds like it's like a purpose on itself to have really good, high qualified initiatives, but the moderation between business and the people is not what you wish for, does it? Yeah, there's Julia, you want to say something? Go for it.
Okay, if I ask a question, Cem, could you give examples? Like, what is an experience where you say this was not a good fit, and maybe also have an example what is a good fit? Because I lack the fantasy. What kind of digitalization learning can you offer to people in a company?
Yeah, so I had the experience of a, let's say, large digital transformation, which really aims at the whole company. So we want to become more digital. So, and what does this mean? And then there is a central digital transformation office and like a couple of projects or concrete topics that are being worked on. And that's it, basically, from the transformation approach. And then there is this assignment to L&D, hey, make our people fit. And I don't want to give you the impression that I blame L&D. I mean, if L&D gets this assignment, it's really hard to make the connection. What I'm trying to say is more that those who are responsible for the transformation, they need to offer a broad approach so that everybody in the organization can find out what does digitalization mean in our area of business and our, like the products we work on, the processes we use, the ways of working we use. So it's this, and I think this is what I was missing in the example I'm blurrily referring to. I hope it's clear enough. And I had another example where we created a new unit that was supposed to work more digital. And it was a mix of different units that worked less digital before. And there we really brought the people who were supposed to work in this new unit together and had them find out how this new way of working should look like. And there we had, there we mixed digitally more advanced people with people who were less experienced. And so they really had to sort it out together and inspire each other, or especially the digital more advanced inspired the others. Does this answer your question a little bit?
Yeah, if I understand you correctly, it's the best is learning on the job, on specific examples which are related to your work.
Not only, I mean, you can use the whole L&D methods you have, like training on the job, but also coaching and mentoring or reverse mentoring in digital transformations. That's very nice, I think, if you have digital natives explaining the older ones how it works, and classical trainings also. But what you need is a process that gives everybody the possibility to find out what's my use case, what's my the change in my area of work. And I think that is often missing.
Yeah. We have another question from you, Anna. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk. If I may offer my perspective, because I happen to come from, I am in L&D now, but I wasn't born in L&D. I come from digital. And so I understand the struggle from both sides of the fence. And but now I'm in L&D camp. So let me push back now. So now I'm gonna push back. At my view of the role of L&D is to be a conduit to share and to transfer knowledge through, could be a learning intervention, could be learning intervention in any shape or form. What I normally note in the context of change, we also have a change office that I work a lot with. The change office is that you need to prepare. We need to prepare. Great, prepare for what? And the change office themselves doesn't know. Exactly. But that in itself is an answer, and that's the in my perception, in my experience, right? That's the environment. We don't know what's happening. We don't know what's going to be disrupted. We don't know what's going to happen next day. So the focus is not so much on making sure that there is when the tool comes, there will be a perfect, you just click here and you click there, at process level. That's process level training. I think in the environment that we are living right now, I don't think that's feasible anymore. I think it's more about creating the competency so that people can adapt, so people have resilience, and people can learn to learn. At least that's my experience now. We are focusing more on creating competencies among the staff so that they can learn by themselves, and that's really swimming. That's the swimming. So that's just that's one view. Of course, people may push back now, but does that resonate with us? Because that's how we are working with our change office. Say no, let's work first on competencies, because I don't know, it could be hyper automation, it could be ChatGPT, it could be that Microsoft comes with something super sexy and all of a sudden everything that we were doing, we don't need to do it anymore. The truth is, we don't know is also an answer.
Mm-hmm.
It's also an answer, and I would like to differentiate what you're saying even a little bit more, how I would see it. And if I may, I would share a little picture where I tried to visualize my idea. So I hope this works now. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Okay, great. So and I'll make it very black and white here. So just for the purpose of illustration, and of course it's not as black and white in practice, but like what I experience sometimes is this: you have the central digital initiatives, and that's trying to come up with the use case. Like Anna, what you said is, but what does it mean? And then they try to come up with a use case, and they give this vague assignment to L&D. Let's prepare our people, and then L&D is trying to struggle. Yeah, but what do our people need? And then it's like broad understanding of digital, but also a very specific. Okay, how does this digital technology work, or how is Scrum working, or whatever people need in the organization. And sometimes if you have identified a very clear use case, like you said on the process level, then it's clear. Then L&D can come up with a offer to get people ready for it. But the challenge in digital transformations is to identify these use cases, to come up with new products, new processes. And so what I'm trying to say is the transformation should be built up first with an exploration phase that really is broad in the organization, that enables people to think about their job and their working environment they're in. And L&D can here provide less with technical content, but more with content on the why and what. So explain business examples for new digital technologies, or you can have people in design thinking workshops so that they learn this process of design thinking, but also in this process already come up with first examples of what could be new solutions. And then once you have these use cases, then you can think about, okay, and what do we need to know to work on these new products, or in this new process, or in an agile framework. So then you can, I don't know, have a training on Scrum, for example, and the roles in Scrum, or whatever you need in your case. So this is then more on the how level. And of course, in reality, it's not a one-time linear exercise like shown here, but then you have to repeat it all over again, all the time. And so what I'm trying to say is that the transformation has to offer this broad approach, and L&D should differentiate on, okay, what do we offer for finding out why and what we need for digital transformation, and then later for the how. I don't know if this makes sense to you. I'm curious on your remarks on that.
If I may, but
yeah.
You expect L&D to create this message for you, or to convey this message on behalf of change? Because that's something also that I'm.
It's not the task of L&D to to create this process. That's part of the change managers or the transformation office. But L&D, like these change and transformation people, they should work much more closely with L&D than I experience is often the case. Often it's we have a transformation office or change initiatives, and they give at some point an assignment to L&D. Here we need that from you, but L&D has to sit on the table, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And L&D has to consult what makes sense in which phase of the transformation. Like I said, in the beginning, it's more why and what, and it's different content and different methods that make sense there than later when first use cases are clear, and you have to prepare people for that. Do you agree on this view, or do you have another experience?
No, I no, that's exactly the experience in the context of our transformation. L&D was removed from HR and became its own group. So that because the links in the new organization, the links of L&D with is not just a little shop inside HR, normally crunched by HR operations, which are very, 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 very heavy. So that was the context of the transformation. L&D stood on its own because we work a lot with innovation. We work a lot with our innovation team, and we work a lot with our change management. So yes, so no, I'm here to agree with you. The links needs to be very strong. The links needs to be very strong. And of course, there's a lot of creative tension because sometimes L&D, me as L&D say, I'm not the chief apologist. You create this mess. You tell me what story you want to tell, because not even I understand sometimes why you're doing what you're doing. So there is this tension, but the conduits of because we have the instructional designers, we know how to make the message stick, but we need the message, So that would be the L&D take on to tell change management. We do have it. It's not perfect. We butt heads a lot. But the fact that we are butting heads means that we are conversing a lot.
Yeah. Thanks, both of you, for this vivid discussion about kind of plaidoyer what L&D should get involved more in digital transformation. Regarding our time, I would like to address one last question to you, Cem. If you have only one tip for the learning and development function on how to best support digital transformation, what is this?
I think it's what we've just discussed, that L&D has to sit on the table. Like very often, HR is not the driver of the transformation or the change, and then is involved only later. And HR has to make sure that it sits on the table or is really closely collaborating with the people who are responsible for the transformation.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. One last question from your side before we will give a short outlook and then come to an end. What question or wish do you have for this webinar? Okay. I mean, you can reach out to Cem and me anyway after this. So I see there's a lot of potential to speak more about this exciting topic. I would like to give a short overview about our next Coffee and Learns. This will be on the 27th of April. We will have Stefan Stenzel, who is expert for coaching and organizations with a DB4C. We just spoke about this body in the beginning of the webinar. He is also responsible for coaching services at SAP. As we have our Coffee and Learns always at the third or fourth Thursday of the month, and in May this will be in parallel with LearnTech, which is a really important and interesting fair on this topic. We will have a special regarding this event and speaking about trends in the L&D scene. I think we have some more. Okay, you just shared the profiles. Thank you, Henrike. Yes, I thank you for now. I thank you a lot for this discussion. And of course, many thanks to you, Cem, for being here today and sharing the insights of your broad experience and expertise in the field of accompanying transformations in organization. And also it was also like the surface of it. I can feel all the challenges behind it. You're just tipping them quite softly. Really, really interesting. Yeah. Thanks to you all and have a nice Thursday afternoon.
Thanks all for listening and discussing.
Barbara and Tatjana, it would be great, and we don't have to have another meeting for really brief a briefing with Cem. But thanks for being here and see you soon. Yeah, or shall we go to another?
Yeah, I think they probably just let the meeting on and left. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.
Simone.